Hey guys, what's up? I'm back again with another review, and today we're taking a look at SH Figuarts Premium Color Edition Super Saiyan Vegeta. And this guy has been in the waiting for a release for a long time from fans of the line, just because, the original one came out in 2011, 2012, I believe, and it was a Comic-Con exclusive, and it now sells for, upwards of $500, which is a ridiculous amount to be paying for any figure. I don't care what anyone says. But yeah, taking a look at this guy, right off the bat, I can say he looks how he's supposed to look. Like, no complaints. Like, the Premium Color Edition changes are obvious in color. You can note, like, first off here, there are some pros and cons. Like, there's a bit more shading, I think, or a bit less shading in some areas that make the hair look, better than the original. Having said that, the only con I would say is it looks a bit more glazed. Metallic glaze, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to get it to pick up on the camera. Like, just glossy. Glossy, that's the word I'm looking for. Obviously, I don't have the original to compare it to, but I do have a knockoff here. I'm going to get him in a weird pose. This is the knockoff. Pretty similar in color, I would say, to the actual, legit original figure. And so here you can see the striking differences in paints. Now, the whole scheme behind the Premium Color Edition thing was so that, fans could have an opportunity to actually get the figure, because with Tamashii Nations, they always state that once a figure is released as a web exclusive or whatever, they will not release the figure, subsequently at any point in the future, which is why they dubbed this a Premium Color Edition, so that they could pretty much get a loophole to release the figure again. So the figure on the left, the knockoff, shows a color scheme that is not accurate to the actual TV show, whereas the figure on the right, the Premium Color Edition, actually does. Now, one thing I wish they did with these Premium Color releases, and that includes the Premium Color Edition trunks, is I wish they kept the amount of accessories the same, and in the case of Vegeta here, I wish that they included the crossed arms, instead of us having to actually just fake that by, putting one fist over the other. But nonetheless, it's all good. It doesn't cost $500 plus. So moving on to the actual paint details, more specifically, I do think that they did, as usual, a stand-up job. Taking a look at the armor here, everything is almost flawless. Like, you can note that he comes with plastic in the case between his arms and the armor. So that shows you how much, the company actually cares about you receiving a quality product. Because obviously you don't want to pay, $40, $50 for a figure and then have it scuffed up with its own paint in different areas. So that's cool. Everything is nice, crisp, and clean. Lines are all nice and sharp. The one thing I will say, though, we are getting, a new body mold for every figure in this line coming up that utilizes a new torso piece that's actually connected to the waist as well. So that enables for some more dynamic poses. And I wish that, I wish that they did that with this figure, instead of, releasing this, everyone buying it, and then 2 months down the line saying, hey, you know what, we have a better body mold. We're going to release another Vegeta figure that's almost as identical as this one, with a couple more accessories, and charge about the same amount of money. That's like a backhand slap in the face. But anyways, like I said, boots are nice. They actually painted it the right color this time, as opposed to, and bring this knockoff onto the scene again, as opposed to just the solid white, which is a nice touch on their part. They could have maybe added a bit more lines on the boots, more specifically the boot tips, but that's all good. At least they got the paint color right this time. So, taking a look at his accessories, as we know, all these figures come with a flurry of interchangeable hands and faces, but this one does stay pretty true to the original release. It only comes with 2 other faces here, and I'll pick those out for you in a second, and it comes with a series of hands, which are also true to the original release. Alright, so one of the other faces we do get here is this angry, scowling, looking off to the side face, which is another thing I kind of wish Tamashii took advantage of when they decided to re-release this figure, and kind of, put the eyes on a more centered angle, so that we could actually have an angry face that had straight-looking eyes, instead of having him always looking off to the right side. I don't know what's with that, but maybe that was some kind of iconic look from the show. Being a fan of it, I don't remember it myself. Anyways, here's his other face. It's kind of like a smirk. And again, what the hell's up with this looking off to one side? This time he's looking off to the left. So you can never have him in, like, with this one of the other faces that, spout more. So you can never have him with one of the other faces that have, more expressiveness in them when you want him to look straight. He's either going to be looking straight at you with no expression, off to the left with a smirk, or off to the right with an even angrier face. As far as the hands we get an open blast hand like that. We get a closed version of that. pretty standard with all the releases. And we also get, you know, the martial arts kind of pedophile grabby hands that are included with all the other figures as well, in addition to these two fists that, you know, all the figures come with. So with articulation now, it's pretty standard SH Figuarts articulation. You've got all your typical swivels and, you know, elbow, wrist, shoulder joints. You got your upper thigh swivel here. You've got double jointed knees. You've got boots. You've got little toe articulation there. Nothing new. Again, this is pretty much just a straight up capitalization off of a recolor, more so for fan service. Do I recommend this figure? Definitely. It's been a long time, as I said, since we as the fans have been able to get a iteration of this figure in our collection. So, and I mean, he's not crazy expensive right now either. He's like 40 something bucks on Amazon as compared to like the 500 you would pay for the original. And the nice thing about it is, usually at this point in time, what's it been? Like, it's been like, maybe a good 3-4 months since his release. Normally by this time, with any of the Figuarts in the line, this Dragon Ball Z line, prices skyrocket in the aftermarket because of scalpers and whatnot. This guy is still remaining around the same, so I would say go out and pick him up right now if you haven't already before prices go up. Alright guys, that's been my review on Super Saiyan Vegeta from SH Figuarts' re-release in their premium color edition line. Hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this figure and the whole, you know, controversy with Tamashii changing their body molds and making a better one like a couple months after the release of this one. But yeah, hope to see you guys on the next review.